Ahojte, super, že ste sa všetci stihli a zvládli pripojiť. Ako viete, je nás veľké množstvo študentov, hlasí sa vás cez 100. Na tomto meetingu by vás malo byť okolo 80, čiže sme veľmi vďační za to, že vôbec ste prejavili záujem o takýto webinár. Sine si našla na náš čas, Sine pracuje priamo pre SDU, chodí po všetkých tých veľtrhoch, má naozaj naučené úplne všetko o štúdiu v zahraničí, o SDUčke, čiže určite sa treba potom pýtať otázky. Žao je teda študent, ktorý vám povie viacej o tej fun a práci a všetko okolo študentského života, skúšky, ako prebiehajú skúšky, môžete sa spýtať, čo študuje a podobne. SDUčka je jedna z najlepších univerzít v Dánsku, zameriava sa primárne na engineering, v čom je vlastne úplne že topka. Tento webinár bude trvať cca 30 minút, kde nám Sine vlastne porozpráva v rámci krátkej prezentácie čo najviac o SDU. Sine, I think you can take over with your presentation. They know everything, so we are ready.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining while I'm setting this presentation up. So yeah, I've already been presented. My name is Sine, and I am from the University of Southern Denmark. I am the international coordinator or the international officer when it comes to the Faculty of Engineering. I know that a lot of you also are interested in the other study programs, and if you have any questions regarding that, we can talk to you about those as well. But we will be mainly focusing on the engineering programs and also, of course, the pros of studying engineering. So first of all, our study program or our university is located in the southern part of Denmark. The campus that we will be mainly talking about today, where all of our engineering English taught bachelors are, is in Sønderborg. In case any of you have been to Denmark before, you know this map is kind of missing Copenhagen, but Copenhagen is towards the eastern part. And Sønderborg is on the very border to Germany. It's only 30 minutes away from Flensburg, which also makes it a bit cheaper to live in, which is great for students. We have on the campus everything taught in English. We have approximately 14 different study programs in English. And that also means that more than 75% of our students are international students, which makes it an amazing and unique way to study because you will have influences from all over the world. You'll be in small study groups with people from Indonesia, Colombia, Germany, Slovakia, Denmark, and you are also going to work very practically. So that means you have every semester, you have a semester project where you have to develop, program something new. But I will come back to that in a bit. The campus itself, you're also going to see some pictures. It's very modern. It's one of the most modern campuses in Denmark. And we have a lot of different facilities for you guys, especially also for the engineering students. We have labs, workshops, 3D printers, laser cutters, a lot of different equipment that you can use. A lot of equipment is also used for private projects, and you are welcome to do that, but just do it in the weekends. That's best. The lifestyle itself and also the way that we teach is very Scandinavian. So we are a research university, but we have a very approached kind of or applied approach. That's what I want to say. So that means even if we are also focusing on research, all of our classes are meant to be applied. So at least a third of your semester will be practical with semester projects, with assignments that you have to do in the labs or something in that sense. And we also only in Denmark use first name basis. So if you have a question for a professor, send them an email directly, run to their office, meet them in the hallway, ask a question. It's very familiar setting. It's very relaxed, and yeah, it's always first name basis. So for me, Sine not misses something. Yeah. The city itself is somewhat small. It's only around 30,000 people living there, whereof around 1,400 people are students. So it is a big, nice student community. We also have quite a lot of things to do. The city itself is located on an island. So especially in the summer, there's a lot of water sports that you can do. We have rowing club at the university itself. A lot of students also try out, what's it called? Kite surfing or windsurfing. Personally, I do like to do a lot of stand-up paddling. And then, of course, also a very important part of Danish universities. A Danish university is not a real university unless there's a student bar. The student bar is the lower picture you can see where all the people are meeting. It's open every Friday. And sometimes there are a lot of different activities as well. It's not just parties. There are also, I know next Friday, there's going to be or this Friday, there's going to be a beer pong tournament. Sometimes there are like, what's it called, pub quizzes or karaoke nights. And there's a lot of fun activities going on there. And sometimes professors or staff also join. I've also joined a couple of times. And the city itself also just has a lot of great cafes and bars and other activities they can do. So even if it's a small town, it has a lot of options for sure. The study programs that we have, you already know, and a lot of you already know what you want to study. But just to mention them again, we have electronics, both Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Engineering. We have the mechatronics. We also have mechanical engineering in both Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Engineering. Then we have the Engineering, Innovation, and Business, which I'm also going to talk a bit more about in a bit, because I know that a lot of you are interested in business. And an alternative for that, if you are unsure that you can be accepted into our business study program, would be Engineering, Innovation, and Business. And we have had students, quite a few, who have switched from the business to the engineering part. And then from this year, we also have software engineering, which is going to be very cool, starting up this summer, and it's going to be looking a lot at things like cybersecurity and AI. And for the masters, we have electronics, mechatronics, and engineering, innovation, and business. Next year, 2024, we're probably going to get the mechanical engineering master program as well. Here are a few pictures of our campus. As you can see, it is really directly at the waterfront, and it's not just a small pond or lake or river or something like that. It is actually the Baltic Sea that comes in past the campus. We do not recommend swimming across, but we do have people doing that. The current can be quite strong, so be a good swimmer if you want to do that. The picture that you can see on the side, the larger one, is actually from our cafeteria. So when you eat your lunch or just hang out with friends on campus, you will be inside, you'll have a look at the ocean, and you'll have trees. The top picture with the red kind of cube used to be one of our classrooms. Now it's more used for students who are interested in working with companies or pitching ideas or something like that. We do work very closely together with companies, but again, I will come back to that. We also have one of the few clean rooms in Europe that is a type 1 or class 100. The top picture that you can see is the clean room where they are running around in kind of like hazmat suits. And that is because they're not allowed to bring in any particles. It has very, very few particles per square inch. And that's also why it's a class 100. So we have students, professors, researchers, companies coming from all over Europe to try out our clean room and also work on projects in there. And it's also fun just to walk past and look at people dressed like Teletubbies. The large picture is from outside. So you can see the campus is made almost completely of glass. It's very open, very light. And the lower picture is just to show you that we actually do work quite a lot with like our practical skills and practical approach. An example of that is also this project, which is a semester project from Engineering, Innovation, and Business. They also do the same project on mechatronics. The project itself is supposed to be a robot that is inspired by an animal and has the same movements as an animal. And then it's supposed to be able to climb either a ladder or ropes or something like that. In this particular case, they got inspired by a lizard. Then they made a prototype, made some developments on 3D modeling or with 3D modeling on the computers, and then they built the entire thing. You can see in the front, they have two round kind of like eyes, and those are sensors. They're supposed to climb up the ropes, and then when it gets to the top, the sensors tells it so, and then it climbs back down again. And that is a lot of what we do and how we do the work here. And it's something that's going to prepare you a lot for the future as well, especially as engineers. And speaking of the future, we have something quite unique here at our university or at our campus for engineers, and that is our first job guarantee. The first job guarantee is a guarantee for 6 months after you graduate your either Bachelor of Engineering or Master program. It's in one of the companies in the area. We have both large international companies, but we also have smaller local companies where you can maybe be a bit more diverse in your assignments. It's for 6 months. It's not an internship. It is a job, full-time job with a full starting salary of an engineer. The starting salary in Denmark is around maybe 4,500 euros a month. And then it's just pretty much having fun, show that you're a good engineer, and hopefully the company will offer you a permanent position afterwards that you can then accept. Or you could choose to say, this was nice, lovely. Now you have it on your resume, and now you can go elsewhere. That is completely up to you. I do have a short video that I'd like to show you. I hope everything works. Otherwise, let me know.
Not sure if it's just me, but there's no sound.
I'm going to send you this presentation so that you can also watch the movie or go to our YouTube channel, find it. Otherwise, they're not saying a lot more than what I've said, other than one of the company managers also talking about why it is a good idea to use this first job guarantee and why they even offer it. Because we do need a lot of engineers in Denmark, and we do also, the companies need a lot of engineer and bright minds. And I said it was the starting salary would be around 4,500 euros a month. I was corrected by my colleague in the video. He says it's a minimum of 5,000 euros a month. So it's a bit more, which is really, really nice. And it's definitely enough to get by. And it's mind yourself, it's not the salary you'll have all your life. It's a starting salary. So it's really good. Yeah, we do for this first job guarantee, we do have some requirements. One is that you have to collaborate with the company during your study program. It can be either an in-company project, it can be your internship, or it can be your bachelor or master thesis. The semester projects do not count because they're too small, but the other three, they do. And it's also just a good way to get contacts in a specific company if you'd like. You also have to finish your degree without a delay. So with the Bachelor of Engineering 3.5-year study program, you're not allowed to take 4 years or longer. For the Master 2-year study program, you're not allowed to take 2.5 or 3 years. So it has to be within a set time. And then the last requirement is that you have to learn some Danish. It's probably the hardest. But you only need to learn Danish to a B1 level, and we do offer Danish classes for all students. Zhao, I know that you've had some Danish classes. Would you mind chiming in?
Yeah, so right as you start university, there's like at least 2 companies that have actually the headquarters in campus. So you just talk with them, sign up, and they're going to give you like introduction. So actually you can see how is the lecture structure for learning Danish. Basically, you're going to have some classes every two days after week, just like 2 hours around that after classes in campus. So you don't need to go to another building to have classes or like get a bus to other city. It's in campus, so it's actually more practical. And everything from books or even like papers that the teacher prints for you, they all provide it to you. The only thing you have to do is basically just put a deposit in the beginning. Around like 2,000 krona, Danish kronas. I'm not sure the conversion to euros. The thing is, like, after you pay this deposit, everything, lectures, teaching, books, exercises, tutorials, is everything given. And then you have an exam at the end of the module. So basically you can have 5 modules to reach like the max level of Danish. After each module, you do an exam. the good thing is you pass the exam, you get a deposit back. So basically you can learn Danish for free. Danish, I would say it's a hard language, especially if you're not like English speaker like tendency of that stuff, but it's totally doable. I'm Portuguese, and in the first module I could start understand Danish. So it's totally doable, and I have people that started with me, so basically 2 years ago with Danish, and they already like speak fluently. Basically they are German, Dutch. I have also Italian people. I have people from Hungary, so it's definitely possible to learn Danish. Not also spend the whole life, like your whole time into the studying, but it's definitely possible and easy, and I would really advise it to learn Danish.
Exactly. I think the hardest part about learning Danish is probably the pronunciation,
Yeah,
and then also
definitely
getting to practice Danish, because Danes do have a tendency to switch to English.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, it's definitely, we do recommend learning Danish, especially if you might want to stay after a while as well. Some of the other things that are quite nice about studying at or studying in Denmark or studying at SDU in general, we already talked a bit about the practical experience with the semester projects and everything like that. If you do the Bachelor of Engineering, which is a 3.5-year bachelor, you have a mandatory internship on your 6th semester. And the internships, of course, we help you with the contact to the companies and everything. But it's quite nice, and you don't have to think about too much. And in Denmark, usually you also do get a small salary as an intern as well. You don't have to do your internship in Denmark, though. You can also do it abroad if you'd like. We do experts in teams on the 5th semester, but if you'd rather not do expert in teams, you could also do an exchange. We have more than 400 partner universities worldwide. We send students to places like, of course, Australia, New Zealand, but also Singapore. Canada as well, of course, the US, UK, all of Europe. And the cool thing about it is that if you choose a partner university, you don't pay tuition fees in Denmark, by the way, because you're EU citizens. And if you choose a partner university, even if it's in the US, where they usually have a very high tuition, you don't pay any tuition fees there either. So you have a lot of options to go abroad and have an amazing semester, or you could choose to stay on the campus, also have an amazing semester, but do expert in teams. I mean, you are already abroad, so a lot of students choose to just stay. The expert in teams is where all of us, or all this engineering programs, come together. You have a larger study program, semester project, larger project that you do with the other different study programs. And usually you also do it with a company, or you get a topic or something like that, and then you each work together. It's something that's supposed to mimic a real life project group in a company afterwards. Moreover, we also have the SDU Entrepreneurship Labs, which is, if you have a small inventor in your stomach, then you can absolutely go to our SDU Entrepreneurship Lab, bring out your ideas, and sort of talk to people about how you could start your own company. They will help you with everything from how to do market research, how to patent your ideas, how to pitch your ideas to get funding, everything, even next step in some of your technical issues. And because of our SDU Entrepreneurship Lab, the university is at the moment #1 in Denmark when it comes to startups. We are the university in Denmark with most startups by students, but more importantly, with most successful startups by students. And we have quite a few of them. We also have a lot of them in the building still. So they are in close proximity to us at all times. And because we have these expert in teams, semester projects, everything, we are very group oriented. So typically you would work in groups of 3 to 4 people, maybe 5 people on a semester project. So you also learn how to work together with people. We also have cheap housing. We're working towards a housing guarantee. At the moment, we don't have it yet, but there are plans of building more housing. And I want to say everyone have been accommodated, so you don't have to worry about that. The prices range depending on what you choose in a dormitory from around 260 to 400 euros a month, including things like heat, water, electricity, and even internet. The best thing is to apply before the 1st of May for your housing, because then you are at top of the list. The choices that you have for housing is to either have your own studio apartment with your own kitchen and bathroom, to share the kitchen with other people, but still have your own studio apartment, but no kitchen then, of course. Or you could choose to share the apartment with other people. This is especially something that's nice if you have a partner that you're bringing with you, or friends or family. You can apply for a larger apartment, and then you'll have each your own bedroom, usually a kitchen with some common area as well, and a bathroom. And sometimes the prices for a shared apartments are a bit above 400 euros a month, but then again, if you're 2 people sharing, it's not too bad. And another great thing about studying in Denmark is SU. I don't know if any of you have heard about it, but that is a government grant for EU citizens or EU students that are working and studying at the same time. You have to work a minimum of 10 to 12 hours a week, registered and paid, of course. Volunteer work does not count, neither does jobs in other countries. It has to be registered and paid in Denmark. And then you'll get your salary from work, plus you'll get approximately 700 euros a month from the Danish government. It's not a student loan, it's a grant, so you don't pay it back. The minimum salary that you should accept is around 100 Danish crowns an hour, which is roughly 13.5 euros. If some place wants to pay you less than that, run away screaming, because that means they're not part of a union. They're not protecting your rights as a student worker, and they can pretty much do whatever they want and disrespect you however they like. So the more they pay you, the more likely they are to be in a union. You might have some more responsibilities, but you are also adults, so we're going to treat you like that, of course, as well. And let's see if this one wants to work with me. Yes. Here are a few of the examples of our dormitories. The top picture in the kitchen, you can see that's one of the shared kitchens. So when you share the kitchen, it's fully equipped. You don't have to worry about bringing pots and pans and knives and stuff like that. There's space for you to cook and use cutting boards and everything. There are multiple stoves and multiple fridges, so you don't have to worry about it being super busy, or you just bought a lot of groceries and now you have nowhere to place them. You will have your own. Sometimes it's a full refrigerator that you have for yourself. Sometimes it's part of a refrigerator that you have, but it is a place for your groceries. The same with the cupboards that you can see in the back. You will get a key to the one that matches your apartment number, and then no one but you can get in there. All of the places also have some common area like gardens, a barbecue place, stuff like that, where you can also do, like in the summer, do some relaxing, maybe barbecue with some friends, have a couple of beers or something like that. Play foosball or table tennis as well. And yeah, then some of the practical information when you come to Denmark, of course, we have something that we call social security number. It's the CPR number. Has nothing to do with heart reanimation or anything like that. But in Denmark, we call CPR number. It's your personal number, and it allows you to open bank accounts, to register for dentists, doctors, a lot of different things like that. And it also allows you to go to the doctor for free, to get a discount on medicine, to go to the emergency room if something happens. You can get an ambulance. You don't have to pay for that in Denmark. You just go, get fixed, get any operation you might need, and it's on the Danish government. You don't have to pay for it. And then, of course, for financing, we already talked about how you could get SU. You can do a lot of different student jobs. You do not need to know Danish in order to have a part-time job. So when you arrive in Denmark, you're not going to know any Danish, but you will have the option of learning Danish, of course. And then you can also work in a lot of different jobs without knowing any Danish. SDU has a job portal, and there are several other job portals in Denmark in English. So in restaurants, cafes, retail, supermarkets, you can easily have a part-time job. There are always cleaning jobs, of course, walking dogs, delivering newspapers, all of that you don't need any Danish for. So I think I'm gonna let you talk about this, João.
Yeah, sure. So of course, university is about studying, so you're getting your degree, but we also need to know how to conciliate studying with the social life, because just studying like 24/7 is not efficient and even not going to do that in real life. So we also have a lot of social events and student organizations for that matter. I think our biggest one and most welcoming that produce more events is our intro team, basically a group of volunteers of students that they just create a lot of events, especially for newcomers. So when you start your program in September, you're gonna have a lot of introduction events. So you're gonna have like castle parties, pub crawls, dorm races, so pub crawls to meet all the pubs at the city, the dorm races to meet all the student dorms you have in the city. Also gonna have like an intro party. That's basically our biggest party. So like you saw in the photo that Ines showed you, our cafeteria is basically transformed into a huge dance floor where you can just like go there, have a blast, just chill a bit with students from your course or the courses, other years, and even professors and stuff. So you can meet literally everyone there. Again, this is volunteers. So even if you already have like some experience with these student organizations, you can be a part of it. We're always looking for volunteers and just like a nice time with the team and providing those events for other people. We also have a lot of events. We're gonna have like a movie night. We have a LAN party, so basically bring your own computer and just like start playing games at university. So it's very, very versatile and just basically brings a bit of like the fun to university life. And that's the thing that this university knows how to do it. Like Sina said, we also have a Friday bar, caffeine. Every Friday we're gonna have a lot of events, different events and parties. But we also have other organizations that they're not exactly for party. For example, if you're really like into European youth, we have a European youth, SILBA, that basically are more like political related, but we also have a lot of SDU sports. Like you see in the photos, Sonneborg is very much like a sea city. So we have a lot of sports related to sea, so rowing, kite surfing. We also have a sailing club now. So we have a lot of those sports. And also, of course, we have the traditional sports like football, basketball, volleyball, karate, just tons of it. So yeah, also, if you want to do a bit of more technical stuff, like in your free time, we also have other organizations. For example, we have Formula Students that actually they're building a Formula One car. The main team is in our other campus in Odense, but this team is also like doing something towards it. And we also have the rocketry clubs. Yeah, so basically they're building actually a full rocket, not of course the full size, but a functional one that actually to participate in competitions. So we have organization for every type of tastes, and it's very easy to find your place here and your people actually.
Absolutely. There are so many different kinds of people, and not just within, I mean, there are mainly engineering students, but there are also a lot of different kinds of engineering students for sure. And the same with, yeah, staff, but also the people working and just in general, everyone that's around the university. There are a lot of diverse people from different cultures, from different countries, from different interest groups, and it's just very fun. Personally, I'm also friends with quite a lot of alumni that also, yeah, we end up hanging out afterwards as well, and visit people around the world is always fun.
Yeah, and also because this campus, like Cindy said, is not the biggest one, it's like around 1,400. You have a lot of people from every type of the world, so they normally come here alone. So like making friends, starting to socialize is not a problem at all. I was like super shy when I came here, but like it was so welcoming. It was just very easy to make friends, like and talk with people and actually meet people that have the same taste as you. Very easy.
Exactly. So a lot of you already know that you want to study at SDU or are considering studying at SDU. And if you would like to, I know the deadline for applying is 15th of March, so it's right around the corner, but that doesn't have to stop you from using some of our offers. For example, become a student for a day, where you can contact me. My email is in the bottom. And then I will get maybe João or someone else to show you around the campus. You can sit in with lessons, try to figure out if this is something that you're interested in, maybe switch from business to engineering, or whatever you might like. And yeah, then just have a good time. See, get a feeling of the campus, get a feeling of the people, see the dormitories from the inside as well a bit more. You are more than welcome to contact us for that, and we will organize it. Student for a day is not a specific day. It's whenever it suits you pretty much. So if you have a holiday, maybe in Slovakia or Czech Republic that we don't have in Denmark, that would be a perfect time. Or if you're planning to have a bit of a longer Easter holiday, or maybe taking some days off for something, you are welcome. I have also accepted guests during the summer from time to time. There are not going to be any classes. There are not going to be a lot of students, but you can still see the campus and hear a bit more about how everything's working. And especially if you're considering, if you're not quite sure what study program that you're interested in, try out more than one. You are more than welcome to do that. We're happy to show you the ropes for everything that we have to offer. And yeah, just give us a shout out with an email, and then we'll make everything happen. That is what I have for my presentation.